the dodo. Because when you look into its eyes, you get taken away and you get absolutely torn from the inside out. Your soul is no longer intact once you have looked into the eyes of a dodo.
Whirl.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? CJ the Cheese DJ here, and we're back with another top 6. And today we are taking a look at the top 6 deadliest dinos throughout Ark. Now, this list was very hard to come up with, and we've taken quite a bit of time looking through everything, just going over it, making sure whether it was the right decision or not to include some of these dinos. Now, there aren't any aberration creatures on this list. We've limited it to Scorched Earth and the island, so because there's just way too many dinos to honestly factor into a single list of top 6 deadliest dinos when you can literally include all the dinos and all of Ark, because they're mother freaking dinosaurs. That's just saying something. So like I said, this list is exclusive to the island and Scorched Earth. So yeah, guys, we are going to get straight into it now, as well as that the bosses are not being counted in this list, so we are not including any bosses. So let's get into the list. Alright, coming in at number 6 on this list are the Troodons, and you can already see these guys are absolutely nuts. If you come anywhere near their, general aggro range, and just look at them funny, they will attack you, deplete you, and absolutely knock the heck out of you. And you can currently see you are now staring at a black screen. I know this makes for a great video, but if you don't have Ascendant, well, not Ascendant, Journeyman armor like I do, which is currently why they're unable to kill us, they're just going to continuously keep us in a loop of torpor. Well, pretty much, well, you can see why they're one of the deadliest dinos. Now, as well as that, these guys also like to hide in the bushes quite a lot, so you're obviously not going to be able to see them as well as you would all the other dinos, and the moment you step 1 foot too close to them, they'll turn on you like this, and they'll leave you with an infinite amount of torpor and a slowly degrading moral sense of status. And you can see they've even brought their own little pack buddy along. There were only 2 of them initially to begin with, and we must have just walked backwards accidentally into another one, and you can see that they've aggroed on you. And they blend in really well with their surroundings. If you're just walking through looking for like high level tames on, say, I don't know, your Ravager for example, your Raptor, your Sabertooth, anything low class mount like that, and these guys just pop out of nowhere and accidentally attack you, well, they're not going to be accidentally attacking you, that's for sure. They will kill you, and they will keep attacking you while you're dead. Now, these guys also get progressively worse during the nighttime. They get really aggressive during the night, so you're definitely going to need to stay away from them. Now, it's a lot easier to see them at night because they've got their glowing eyes, but these guys are hands down some of the most deadliest dinos in all of Ark. You can see they're pretty fast as well, but if you're able to get away from them without your stamina running out, then you have a good chance of surviving. That's why the Troodons are number 6 on this list. Now, number 5 on this list, you can see in front of us are the Cnidaria. They are absolutely shredding our Donkey and our Plesiosaur. They essentially stun lock them until they're dead, and they will kill them. You can see our Plesiosaur here in front of us. Well, it wasn't ours, it was someone else's. But you can see that it is absolutely stuck there, and they're just bringing more dinos, and these dinos are all stuck here. And they do deal a decent amount of damage to these dinos. And you can see here, these poor dinos are just going to get stun locked, unless of course a Megalodon comes along and eats them instead. These guys are extremely dangerous, and you definitely want to try avoiding them. Now, the worst part about these jellyfish is that if you're accidentally, just riding along on your mount, and you're just like, tra-la-la-la-la through the ocean, and you're like, I need some biotoxin. Well, you can't, because they'll stun you, and then you'll actually get knocked off your mount. Now, the only ones that I know that are immune to this is the Basilosaurus. You can see here we're able to get a few hits in, but majority of the time you get kicked off your mount, and you're pretty much screwed. You can see now we are stuck in the jellyfish, and we can't even move out of here. There's just no point in us even trying. You can see our poor Megalodon here has just been murdered by these jellyfish. These guys are definitely the biggest bane in the ocean. Forget the Mosasaur, forget the Tuso, the Cnidaria are hands down the worst ocean creatures in the whole entirety of the ocean. Like I said, the only creature I know that is immune to this effect is the Basilosaurus. Other than that, you're pretty much screwed if you accidentally run into these guys in the wild. Look at us, we look like we're about to get taken up to heaven because the amount of stuns we are getting through our body. Now, number 4 on this list is the deadly bane of the Redwoods. You're just casually flying through, minding your own business, when all of a sudden you're just flying around trees, just minding your own business, looking for tapes. BAM! Thylacoleo jumps out at you and just mauls on you to death. Now, the worst part is that if you don't have really strong dinos with you while this happens, you won't be able to fight and kill the Thylacoleo. They will easily trump you and kill you. Now, as well as that, even if you try tranking them, good luck with that, because those suckers take a lot to trank. Now, another factor that makes these guys so deadly is once you're able to get one and you successfully tame it up, it then also has the ability to climb up walls, which is pretty much a really big advantage in PvP. You can see they were pretty much just scaled that mountain cliff. So, for example, if you're getting chased by PvPers and they're trying to kill you, you can climb up walls or mountains, and they won't be able to chase after you unless they're either on one or they're on a flyer. Majority of the time they are on a flyer, but that does not mean you cannot escape them. All you need to do is simply climb up a tree with the Thylacoleo, and you can then pounce on them yourself like they do in the Redwoods, which makes these guys even more ferocious. As well as that, these guys have really good stats. They've got a crap ton of melee damage to themselves, a crap ton of weight, and a pretty good amount of base starting health. So these guys are definitely one of the deadliest dinos, and because the Redwoods occupies the center of the map, you're going to have to eventually fly through the Redwoods, otherwise you're going to have to fly around, which makes you coming face to face with these big behemoths inevitable. So that's why these guys are number 4 on this list, just because of their pure brute strength and the surprise factor and the unique abilities they have. Now, number 3 on this list is another deadly bane. I cannot stand these guys. Now, some of you might not agree with it being so high on the list, but the Mega Piranhas are hands down some of the worst creatures in all of Ark. The fact that they're able to shred you so easily, look at this. We have 280 health, and look how quick those 3 piranhas just shredded our health. Now, what's worse is that if you have a passive dino bringing in with you and you hop off it to get some water, for example, in the water, and the Mega Piranhas see you, well, you're screwed, because they will demolish you. And if you don't have any decent weapons, well, then that makes you even doubly screwed, because these guys are just absolutely nuts, and they are the bane of many starting players that venture too far into these streams and, try to cross their stream without having enough oxygen to swim faster. And you can see here, you can even find them out in the open waters, and this one's doing like 25 damage per hit. You would not expect tiny piranhas to do so much damage. These guys are easily the bane of many Ark players, and I just cannot stand them. They are very annoying, and that is why they're number 3 on this list, just because of their pure numbers and the pure amount of damage they're able to do. It's ridiculous how powerful these guys are. Now, number 2 on this list are the direwolves. You can see here they're ferocious, they just want to eat your brains out. Now, you'll normally find these guys in packs of 3 or more, and these guys pack a huge punch wherever they go. The amount of damage these guys can dish out is absolutely ridiculous, especially the Alpha. These guys are hands down probably the kings of the snow. Now, they only get stronger with the more pack. You saw there that level 40 is hitting 62 on us. Granted, we aren't wearing any armor, but majority of the time when you find a pack of direwolves, they normally have the mate boost as well as the alpha pack boost. Whatever boost you want to call it, they have it more, and that makes them deal a crap ton of damage. Only the other day, our poor 260 Ravager got taken out by a pack of direwolves because we got killed from the cold. And then they were on neutral and they came in and attacked us, and we just got absolutely slaughtered. Our poor Ravager never had a chance, and he had 5,000 health. These guys are nuts when it comes to being in a pack. Now, the only chance you'll have of taming these guys up is if you've got a flyer, or you can build a trap and trap a whole heap of them in there. But you can see, look at the numbers on them, and they just gather more recruits the more you hit them and the more you run. They just get more numbers, and that just only makes them even stronger. You can see there's level 100 in there somewhere. These guys are absolutely nuts. Now, in terms of when you've tamed them, that makes them even stronger, because then you get the pack boost for yourself, and you can essentially run around with these guys in Ark, dealing huge amounts of damage to anything that comes in your path, whether it be enemy players or enemy dinos. These guys are definitely not to be trifled with, and that is why they are number 2 on this list of deadliest dinos. Alrighty, and coming in at number 1, you can see them in front of us. They're scared. The Therizzinosauruses. Now, these guys are the deadliest dinos in my opinion, and they're at number 1 because they're just all around pure strength and just everything. You get too close to them, they will aggro on you. You can see you get them in packs, they'll even aggro on you. Now, as well as that, they also have the ability to knock players off their mounts if they are riding low tier mounts. So Ravagers, Cave Wolves, Sabertooths, Baryonyxes, anything up to a Carno, they're able to knock you out unconscious and knock you off your mount. Your mount is then left to fend for itself. Now, these guys also deal a whopping amount of damage. Their base damage is just absolutely nuts. We can't show you it at the moment because we are currently knocked out. Thank the Therizzies for that. but these guys are just ridiculous powerhouses. They have huge amounts of health. People have even subbed using these guys for boss fights instead of the Rexes. So these guys are definitely worthy of their #1 position. Now, once you manage to tame these guys up, you can essentially go around raiding people's stone bases. These guys shred through stone. As you can see, they absolutely shred through anything else that comes in their way. 152 damage. That is literally almost on par with a Rex. Rexes deal, we have a 130 tamed Rex that deals about 182 damage. So Therizzinosauruses are absolutely ridiculous. Now, as well as that, they're also really good utility mounts because you can gather wood, thatch, fiber, everything. Berries with them, they're nuts. The amount of damage they deal is just ridiculous. The devs have really outdone themselves on making the Therizino a huge powerhouse that's capable of taking on pretty much anything. Like I said, people are using them for bosses and everything. They're swapping out Rexes, the towering gigantic dinos, over Therizzinosauruses, the dino with the extremely fluffy body and massive claws. That is why the Therizzianosaurus is #1 on this list. We didn't include any of the larger dinos, like I said, but if we were to, we would definitely include the Yutyrannus in this. Oh god, speaking of the large dino devils. So like I was saying before, an honorable mention would be the Yutyrannus. Those guys are powerful. They have the courage and not courage debuff roar, I guess you could call it, and they also have the ability to summon a pack of Carnos around them. So those guys were definitely considered for this list. We didn't really include much of the larger dinos because we wanted to take a look at the smaller tiered dinos, like I said, the ones that are on this list. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this list. Oh, and before we go, another honorable mention, the Dodo. Because when you look into its eyes, you get taken away and you get absolutely torn from the inside out. Your soul is no longer intact once you have looked into the eyes of a dodo. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Hopefully I'll catch you in the next one. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I will see you later. Got this soda,